As you know, the recently passed FY14 defense bill provides resources and it loosens restrictions on the spending of Japanese funds for the realignment of Marines from Okinawa to Guam. Now, I'm a strong proponent of this initiative, and I believe it is the cornerstone of the rebalance effort, and it enhances our bilateral relations with Japan. Can you comment on the tangible impacts or benefits that progress on the realignment that it has to do to our overall rebalance strategy? Does progress on this realignment help to demonstrate our commitment to allies in the region?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely it does. It does just that. As we move from Futenma to the Camp Schwab, the northern part of Okinawa, we remove the U.S. Marine Corps concentration to a more an area with less population and provides less risk to the population there. Also, the other key piece that it does is it firmly reestablishes Guam as a hub as we move up to 5,000 Marines to that area, as we continue to build more assets. So I think it does several things. One is it does continue to demonstrate our commitment to the Japanese people and our treaties and partnerships, but also demonstrates to the region that Guam is going to be an increasing pivotal player in the area.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just returned with our chairman of the Readiness Subcommittee, Mr. Whitman, and we had a very thorough examination of Camp Schwab and Futenma and all the other camps in Okinawa. Admiral, I have a question for you. As Readiness Subcommittee ranking member, I'm concerned about the readiness of our military forces in the PACOM area of responsibility. Now, do the military services have adequate capacities to meet the PACOM combatant commanders' war plan requirements? And if not, what are the consequences, and how is the Department working to address these shortfalls? In particular, is equipment from retrograde being prioritized to this region?
Well, again, as stated earlier, we really can't get into a detailed discussion of war plan execution. But I will take on the larger issue of readiness to which you speak. And we are concerned about the readiness of the force, and particularly the consequence of sequestration on readiness. As you look at the way the budget cuts unfold, and I'm a strategy guy, not a budget guy, but I follow this inside my service and others. Readiness suffers first, and we have seen that. The service chiefs, the service secretaries, the chairman and the vice chairman have been up on the Hill. They have made very clear their concern for the impact of sequestration, both long-term and even under the latest respite, that concern of the impact of these cuts on readiness immediately.
Thank you. Thank you. My last question is for Secretary Lumpkin. I'm deeply concerned about the current status of relations between Japan and South Korea. Actors on both sides have either taken unfortunate actions or made unfortunate statements. Now, how does this current situation impact our training and operations in the region? And does this make integration between South Korea and Japan more difficult? And how is the U.S. working to bridge the gap between our two most critical allies? I really believe the U.S. needs to take a more proactive role and spend a little diplomatic capital to right the situation.
Well, we have a long multilateral relationship, of course, with Japan and the Republic of Korea. And we continue to dialogue with them on issues of this nature. I would argue that the relationship between the three historically is much larger and much deeper than these issues that we've seen as of late. So I remain very optimistic that we'll get past some of these obstacles that have recently appeared, and I think those dialogues and discussions are happening.
Well, I hope you're right in that. And Mr. Chairman, thank you. I yield back.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you each for being here today.